I don't know how I'm going to make the eye contact, but it's exciting. TED Talk happening. I want you all to, for 1 second, imagine a world where everyone who speaks from the heart like you do, but at the same time, you are being received by the other person with a complete purpose. What I mean is that whatever you say is received by the other person and there is no miscommunication. What is going to happen? You will for sure see less people fighting on the road. You will see a lot of students paying attention in the class. You will see a lot of learning that is going to come with it. Is it not? So, what if we basically work more on that rather than going for the very difficult things at first? What if we taught communication before we taught mathematics? Now, I understand that both communication and mathematics, these are two broad terms. And it is not to demean mathematics, it is as important as the bones of a body. But when it comes to communication, it's no less than the breath that you take and you breathe to stay alive. I'll tell you a little story. I was in the school, like we all were, and you'll be able to relate to it because we've all been there. I was in school, and most of the times, more often than not, if the teacher would to ask me a question, what would happen is that I would know the answer, but I would not say anything. In the end, the teacher would say, this was the answer. And I knew that that correct answer could have been coined by me, but I did not do that. Have you guys ever felt that? Show of hands if you did. Have you ever felt that I know the answer to this question, but oh, I swear to God, I wish I could have done it earlier. That has happened to you, right? What does that mean? Does that mean that you're bad at mathematics, international relations, disaster management? Or is it something that tells you that, okay, maybe you were just falling off and swimming by the handle? You could have just said the answer. You could have become the top of the class. It happens, right? I used to be in a village. We used to study there, go to a school. It was a good school, but still a village nevertheless. Spent my 20 years there. And I learned one thing, that the only question that I ever had was that why is it that the people in villages or small towns are colossally behind how the people function in a city like Peshawar? It was years later when I came here and I noticed that the people of Peshawar knew how to say no. If you tell them something they don't want to do it, they will probably tell you no. But if you go to a village and if you tell someone to do something, a no is like showing them a gun. It doesn't exist there at the cost of your own sanity. Isn't that right? So, what if we taught communication before we taught mathematics? And when it comes to communication, there's a lot of data that can show you that whatever happens, there are brilliant students in class, the luminaries of the day, people who can do amazing things, but when they are met with the simple question or to the matter of standing up and saying or even reading something in the class, we've all felt there, right? We would just hide behind our students, the other people, the classmates, so that the teacher does not see us. But it was so funny that the teacher would see exactly you. And that still happens, no? So, what if you actually teach the children or the students or the university academia students the power of communication before you teach them how to solve big problems? We've all seen people on television, or we've all seen them on the stages. They're remarkable, brilliant people. But when a camera is put right next to their face and a mic right next to their mouth, all that comes out of it is sheer shivering. They're shivering like this. And it is okay to shiver like that. So I've told you and I've established that how important it is to communicate because we all feel that. Now I'm going to show you a few things so that you can take a little bit of a breather and you can tell yourself that it is all right. After this TED talk, I want you to remember a few things that will instantly help you remember a lot of things when you're communicating. And I so hope that you go out of this building being more confident and more communicating, maybe more than ever. Have you guys ever thought about the structure that you're designed with? You have a very powerful tool, a voice. The voice can literally start a war. The Department of International Relations knows this, that the wars come when the people are fighting, and mostly it comes out of the people who are more vocal about it. But at the same time, you use the same vocal cords or your voice to say, I love you. How do you use this? A few tips that will definitely help you. Does help me when I go onto the stage or I'm talking to someone. In normal daily routine, you have to realize that you're communicating on a daily basis with everything, with your mother, your father, your partners, your university mates, your teachers. Even so, that when you step out of your house, so there's a little dog sitting in the end of your street, when he sees you and wiggles his tail, you're also communicating with that dog. How do you use your voice? Now let's come to that. It's very important. If you want to take notes, please take notes. When you speak, you must have noticed that some people they speak quite fast. Like if I were to speak to you like this and I do not understand what word I'm saying, and you have to just listen to me because I'm so nervous, you can just see that I'm just skipping out of my boots. It's just everything is just so going so fast. You will not understand a thing. Look around you in your friend circles, in your houses. There are people who speak so fast that it becomes really hard to go on with them and resonate. It seems like a very diminutive thing, but is it? Look at yourself. Are you that person who speaks extremely fast? Or at the same time, if I lower my voice and if I talk to you and I tell you something really, really serious just by mimicking it, does it not sound serious now? So the way you move your voice defines a lot of things. Number one, the, the speed of your voice, the speed of your speaking. Number two, the emotion that you're putting through your voice. For example, if I were to come to you and if I were to tell you, Arsalan, I've just heard, and there's no right way to put it, but I've just heard that you have won a lottery and now you're a millionaire. So congratulations on that. Arsalan is going to pick something up and throw at me because it seems like as if I'm jealous of him. I'm not talking to him in a way that I should be. Or for example, I come to you and I tell you, this is so good. I just heard that your cat died. Oh my God. I mean, that is dreadful. No, you're doing the exact same thing that Arsalan is going to do to me. Throw something at me. Why? Because your cat died. But if I talk to you with a little bit of a pause and I tell you that, hey, I'm sorry, your cat passed away, but I'm here with you. Do you know how many relationships we lose because we're not actually communicating in the right way? Some people take it from misunderstandings and then they lead to ego issues and a lot of things. And people falling apart, be it teachers, students, or partners. Does it not happen? Because I'm talking about the power of speaking and I have limited it because communication is a broad term. It requires storytelling. It includes, analytical skills. A lot of things can be communication, but I'm specifically talking about speaking because it is something that we see missing, specifically when it comes to Peshawar. We find it hard to speak to the people of Islamabad or the other places. Why? It's only because we don't know how to communicate and we're self-conscious. Have you ever thought What is the difference between speaking and talking? Or what is the difference between listening and hearing? When you speak with a purpose. You say something that holds value and gravity. You say something that sits in the minds of the people. But when you talk, I could be talking about you, with anyone, or to you with or about anyone. Or I could just be telling you there are so many people that we see around us who are all the time telling us things that we do not pay attention to. We're just in our phones all the time. So the next time you speak to someone or you think you're speaking to someone, ask yourself, are you speaking or are you talking? Similarly, right now, what can you hear? You can hear the AC. You can hear a few people talking. Now there's a silence because I'm talking about it. You can also hear the silence, can you not? But what are you listening to? You're listening to me. So there is a sheer difference between listening and hearing. So the next time you're actually paying attention, you're trying hard to focus on something, do ask yourself, am I listening or am I just hearing it? Is someone speaking or is he just talking? And in order for the audience to gather your thoughts in their own brains, because we have millions of neurons going in our brain at different rates, the idea flows when your idea, my neurons, millions of them, resonate with your neurons, billions of them. And for that, you'll have to listen to me. And for that, I'm gonna have to speak and not talk. Imagine once again, there's a world where everything that you do is taken well, where a teacher understands you, where you, when put up a question, no one criticizes you because they understand. Imagine a world where you know how to speak. The other ones, they know how to listen. Imagine a world where we're all sitting and there are a lot of opinions, but every opinion is taken with not with a pinch of salt, but it's taken with a lot of respect just because you know how to communicate it. Imagine what if we taught communication before we taught mathematics. Thank you very much.